Well, it was every bit as bad as the experts predicted, but not the catastrophe that it might have been. Temperatures around New South Wales soared into the 40s today, fuelling 130 bushfires. But the massive firestorm that authorities were worried about hasn't eventuated, at this point anyway. Nonetheless, it's far from over. Around 30 bushfires are out of control. Firefighters remain on high alert across the state. And after a brief cool change tonight, we're in for a second blast of extreme heat in a matter of days. Philippa McDonald watched how the day unfolded.
The emergency is by no means over, and according to the Rural Fire Service, New South Wales is tonight still in the grip of the worst fire conditions in recorded history.
We've still got many hours to go and we need to remain vigilant.
Catastrophic fire ratings have been extended from the Shoalhaven, Illawarra and Southern Ranges to include the Riverina and parts of the lower Central West Plains. Extreme and severe fire warnings remain in force for much of the state. Today's treacherous conditions came early.
At 11 a.m. this morning, the temperature in Sydney was 35.5 degrees, Nowra 38.1, Riverina 38.6 and Bega has hit 39.4.
Temperatures kept soaring and destructive winds followed.
We're already seeing wind strengths up to 50 to 70 kilometres an hour.
In Helensburgh, on the edge of the Royal National Park south of Sydney, residents got late-night phone calls from the Rural Fire Service.
They said this whole area was going to be in a catastrophic condition. So if fires break out, there's nothing they can do for us, really.
Thousands today received warnings like this on their mobiles. The message was everywhere. Around the state, firefighters were mobilised to fight 130 fires, 40 out of control.
With this wind, there's no mercy.
Close to Cooma, residents were evacuated by police at 3 o'clock this morning.
I've got some photos, personal photos, papers that I need, my dogs.
3 planes and 4 helicopters were deployed to fight this fire, but still it's hard to touch the sides.
We're expecting a change round to the south at midnight tonight, but that may not help the fire. All that'll do is change the front on the fire.
Closer to the coast in Brogo near Bega, there were concerns for 12 homes. The inaccessibility of the bushland proved challenging for firefighters. In Sydney, fire and rescue had to move quickly to stop a truck fire quickly spreading to grassland and near homes at Silverwater. At Shalvey, the race was on to dust the flames that threatened back fences. Police have arrested 3 young people.
What are you going to do? I mean, seriously, the kids haven't got much to do around here. The parents are probably off working hard, so...
It's what police had feared in this heatwave. Philippa McDonald, ABC News.
And we're joined now by Commissioner Shane Fitzsimmons from the New South Wales Rural Fire Service. Commissioner, it wasn't the disaster everyone was fearing, but is it too early to breathe a sigh of relief?
Juanita, we've had a horrible day. We've got 140 fires across New South Wales. 40 of those fires remain uncontained. We've had 10 emergency alerts, most of those running concurrently throughout today. We've seen firefighters and fire-affected communities facing the worst imaginable conditions, some of the worst on New South Wales record. We've still got many hours left ahead yet. We've got several hours left of daylight, and once we lose that daylight, we've then got another good 6 hours or so of hot, dry, windy conditions that are going to prevail right throughout and up to the Sydney region well after midnight tonight. Bureau of Meteorology is indicating places like Sydney are still going to be dealing with 30-degree temperatures around midnight. If that's not challenging enough, we are going to see the cold front move slowly up the coastal areas of New South Wales. Already in the far southeast, we've seen that front move through, and whilst there's some welcome relief to temperatures, what it also brings is some extraordinary gusty and difficult winds, with some of the records indicators recording speeds of 100 kilometres or more in association with that frontal activity. So we're not out of the woods yet, certainly. We've still got many hours to go, and communities right across New South Wales have still got to deal with some very, very difficult conditions.
And how worried are you about when the hot conditions come back over the next couple of days?
Oh, look, we've already seen what can happen when you see a moisture-depleted landscape influenced by a hot air mass out of central Australia. Increase those winds and you've got the sort of ratings we're talking about across New South Wales today. It looks like as we move into the weekend and even into early next week that we're going to see even hotter temperatures coming out of central Australia. I'm hearing the potential for high 40s, if not 50 degrees in the centre of Australia, and that air will move towards New South Wales. Clearly, we'll work closely with the Bureau of Meteorology in firming up those forecasts and what that means for New South Wales. But we've still got a lot on our plate here and now. We've got a lot of fire across New South Wales. We've got a lot of firefighters out performing extremely dangerous and difficult work, and we've got a lot of communities dealing with the worst of conditions, and they'll still have those ahead of them for many hours yet.
Commissioner Shane Fitzsimmons, thank you.